Hi, my name's Annie, also known as Yub Yub Commander. Welcome to my video of me talking about how I made that cosplay. This is going to be very rambly, as always. You know how it is. I also have allergies right now, so I sound like this. You're welcome. We're going to struggle through it because it is nearly a year. What is it now? 9 months. It's been 9 months and I was supposed to make this video back in like December. Anyway, let's talk about how I made this cosplay and why it's important to me. About 8 years ago, I started on my personal very first armor set. It was my second armor set that I had ever made, but it was the first one that I made for myself. And that was the World of Warcraft Tier 2 Hunter set, which is also known as the Dragonstalker armor. My first one was really rough. Like, it's bad, man. It was real bad. But I made it anyway because why not? It wasn't going to look good, but I didn't care because I wanted to make it for me and that was all that mattered. I always made it with the idea of remaking it. And so when World of Warcraft and the Warcraft franchise as a whole was coming up on the big 20th anniversary and the 30th anniversary, respectively, I had already planned on remaking Dragonstalker. I had posted about it online a couple times and talked about how 2024 and 2025 were going to be the years that I made my Dragonstalker cosplay. Little did I know that as a present to me, and I know that I'm completely delusional because obviously this was made for everyone, but I'm going to believe that it was made for me. Dragonstalker, as well as a lot of the really classic World of Warcraft armor sets from ye olden days, all got very beautiful high-res reskins. And finally, instead of me spending months trying to wrap my brain around how to make the original really old model make sense on a human body, I had a high resolution version that did a lot of that figuring out for me. But then I had to make the cosplay. So let's talk about that. Okay, so this is how I work on armor builds like this. Now, the really cool thing about Wowhead is that I can actively pull up any armor set that has been made in game and I can put it on a character, and then I have a full 360 view that I can manipulate however I want so that I can see exactly what I want to do with it. So for something like this armor, the way that my brain works is I break it down strictly into each individual piece. The good thing usually about World of Warcraft is that everything's very easy to compartmentalize. There's not a lot of stuff that like overlaps with other things. So it's like the breastplate's just the breastplate. The shoulders are just the shoulders. There might be a couple pieces here and there, such as like right here with the legs. This is technically part of the pants, but I killed my monitor. Hello? You're not a touchscreen thing. What the heck? Oh no, I killed Wowhead. That's different. How did I kill Wowhead? Wowhead, how could you do this to me? Nothing happened. The pants right here, they're the scaled thing. It's very obvious if you look right here at the hip armor that these like weird little straps are supposed to connect the hip armor to around the legs to hold it securely. But because the way that the game works, it's easier to put the texture of these straps on the actual pants. But this will be something that I have strapped and attached to this. If I can get all this finished, literally all of the armor finished before, I guess, January 2nd, I'm going to be so happy with myself. And I mean like painted and everything. We're going to see. That's a lot. We'll see. So yeah, that's the goal. We'll see how it goes.
5 hours later.
Okay, I'm going to walk through my process on all this because I realized I probably can't start working on this today because I still need to pattern all this and figure all that out because I'm dumb and I didn't think about that sooner. I have most everything figured out. I think the breastplate right now is like getting me because the more I look at it, the more I realize there are so many layers. Like, what is the base of this? Is it this? Or is it like this right here? I'm thinking it's this right here, which means maybe not. Actually, it might actually be this piece right here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers coming off in this direction. You have this weird thing that's not even a layer. It like goes on top of everything. But because of the way, in order to make it where it lays like nice, I'm going to have to stack this up with everything else. Thankfully, the back is so much easier because it's like once you get to this point over here, it's just overlapping scales, and that's going to be a walk in the park. And then there's like this weird gold belt structure, which is this thing, which technically is going to get covered up by the belt, but I'm still going to put it there because I want it to exist. What I might do is actually have the belt sit on top of that. And then there's like all these weird little flanges that come off. Looks like there's another one up underneath the hips right here. I'm probably not going to make those as long as they are in the back because that just seems like a dumb idea to have like hanging down. So I'm probably going to bring those up shorter. But yeah. Okay. It's fun. I am going to cobble together a ton of patterns, I think, to make this breastplate. These are just the details. That's not counting, like, the base pieces. And I got more sitting over there. This is ridiculous. It's fine. I'm fine. To record because I'm like getting so in the zone. So let's see if I remember to do it for the belt.
Several days later.
Executive decision being made. I'm gonna get my leggings printed and I'm gonna make the design and get them printed from the company that I originally printed my Dragonstalker pants from. So that's what I'm working on right now. So, yapping out loud, because I'm still processing how I'm going to make this. This is going to be entirely out of foam, because I hate sewing. So this entire thing is going to be EVA foam. My goal is to make it full design on the back, so you can see it as I walk. It'll also cover up this back here, which, like, I don't mind. I like how this really turned out and stuff with the lacing, but it's not canon. So this will at least just cover up those closures. Not 100% sure how I'm going to attach this yet, but I'm thinking it's going to be some sort of weird convoluted thing with Velcro and maybe some buckles for supports. We're going to find out. My goal, though, because you don't see, with how skinny this is, you don't see a lot of it on the other side, like if you're looking at it dead on. You don't see a ton of the cape on either side. So what I'm going to do, I think, is only do like the edge details on the back side, so it's facing this direction. So you can see a little bit of the edge details, but I'm not going to do all this. And hopefully that'll also help it kind of like rest comfortably on me, because it'll like nestle on this side, and it'll be less work to do. And that's always what we want to do. for anyone who's counting, in order to make this entire base breastplate, I'm just at the part in Catching Fire where they're making the plan. That's as much as I'm going to say in case of spoilers. So anyway, and the duration that it took me to do all of this is like an hour and a half into the movie. So I messed up on the breastplate and didn't think about the fact that I actually needed like a lot longer than I originally had it. So I had to do this jinky, crappy like patch job, which I don't really care about because all of this is getting covered. I'm not worried about like any of the seams because you're not even going to be able to see any of this breastplate. So, obviously in the back, voila, it's going to be laced up. And I know that's not canon to the art. I don't care because I want this to be comfortable and I want it to be flexible and I want it to be able to fit me no matter what. Because I bloat a lot if I eat like anything. So I want this to be able to fit me if I decide to eat a bread roll. But I'm liking how it's looking. Like, this is going to look really great once it's all, attached in the back and everything and laced up. I'll probably try and figure out a way so I can lace it myself. I gotta learn how to do that because I actually don't know how to do that. And then, yeah, 8 layers of foam are about to go on top of this. I've spent most of yesterday procrastinating this entire thing. I did get all of the patterns, for the most part, cut out. I've been working on like cleaning up the triangles, but like segmenting everything so it's kind of like in its own individual pieces and stuff like that, and then labeling it. But then I realized there's a lot of stuff. So I created essentially a paint by number style picture with all the layers, all the stupid little layers labeled, which I've then gone and added the numbers to on these. So I have, as you can see, I started tracing everything out on this, like so. And I'm about to start cutting out all the foam and begin the layering process. My goal is to do layers and then bevels. And then I guess I'll go from there. This is the hardest piece. If I can get this finished, then everything else is going to be a cakewalk. But this is the centerpiece, and I have to finish it. Okay, so my camera has apparently run out of storage, so this is really quick. This is sitting a little weird on me right now because it's not fully fitted or anything. But it took 3 hours to do this right here. I'm going insane. I'm going to start doing the rest. I'm going to do the front, and then I'm going to migrate over to the scales on the side, and then I'll do the back. And I have a game plan for everything, but oh my god, this is taking forever. It looks really good. Like, it's really clean. The bevels are turning out really, really well, but oh my god, it's taking forever. So I'm going to go download all the footage from the camera onto my computer, and then I'm going to come back and keep working on this. So I'm getting there.
Several months later.
I kind of wanted to talk a little bit though about like why this cosplay in particular means so much to me. For those of y'all who don't know, World of Warcraft and cosplay for me like literally go hand in hand. I had a really good friend, Maggie, love you bunches, back when I was like a teenager, who introduced me both to cosplay as a higher concept than just dressing up. Like I knew it existed, but I didn't fully comprehend that it existed, if that makes sense. It was something that was like so nebulous. She introduced it to me in a way that made it tangible, even though we were like 16 years old. And then she also introduced me to World of Warcraft because she was like, oh yeah, you like fantasy. You're going to like this too. And she was right. And so because of her, I like really started delving into the World of Warcraft fan art community on DeviantArt back in the day. God, I miss Dev. As well as the cosplay community that was on DeviantArt. Again, I would have been like 15, 16 years old. So this is like quite a while ago. I fell in love with the concept of photo shoots, specifically, not cosplay, photo shoots. The love of cosplay came later, but I was obsessed with the idea of like creating sets to take photos in. And I tried when I was really little and they look really bad, but like I tried. But then also like I was really obsessed with the idea of doing like Photoshop composites and stuff like that. Like I used to dabble my fingers in that way back in the day. And it was a lot of fun to kind of play with and also realize that like, oh, you don't have to have a model. You could be the model and you can go places to take your own pictures or have someone take pictures for you and like they'll do the editing for you and you don't have to worry about that and stuff. So like all of this wrapped up just like really made me excited because it was like all the different things in art that I really enjoy, which is like crafting things and painting things and drawing things, but then also like taking photos and editing photos and videography and stuff. It was like all wrapped up into like a single hobby. Being able to cosplay my own World of Warcraft character, and then especially now that like glasses are a moggable item in game, not just like they had glasses before but they weren't. Now there's like a pair of glasses in the game that look pretty similar to the ones that I wear, and like the blood elves have like hair color that's fairly similar to like my actual hair color and stuff. It's really cool that like I made a costume of what my character wears in game. It's really cool. I just wish I had a pet wolf and then I can like Photoshop him blue because I am a hottie main and she will remain my main until someone pries her from my cold dead hands. But I love this cosplay and I love cosplay. I love cosplay so much. I love bringing to life things that mean a lot to me, even if it's like the dumbest little thing, even if it's something that like it's not like a deep meaning, like, you know, World of Warcraft and cosplay again like go hand in hand, like it's a deep integral part of like the hobby for me. But like it's got dragons on the shoulder and like that's really cool and like the colors are cool and I don't know, man. I just like cosplay. But yeah, that's how I made my Dragonstalker cosplay. Sorry if I sound like crap through this. I have been dealing with allergies, and so my voice sounds like a mess right now. I'm just trying to push through it. I have tried to record the audio for this so many times, and my camera is still at war with me. If you are interested in any of the patterns that I made, the 3D models, and like a full write-up and stuff of how I made this cosplay, you can check everything out over at Patreon. And then otherwise, feel free to ask me any questions that you have. I have a bunch of highlights over on Instagram as well that you can check out to see kind of like my progress of how I made this cosplay and stuff. I think my build book might be up on Patreon. Oh my god, no, I never made a build book. Oh, I meant to do that for a video. I need to make a build book for this cosplay. Editing Annie here because as I was putting all this together, I realized just how much footage I never filmed, which is insane because I had hundreds of hours of footage filmed. You may notice that a large majority of the cosplay was not recorded, such as the painting, the shoulders, the actual belt, the shirt, and a bunch of other like small individual pieces. That's because I got so busy with life and then so busy with school, because school started for me last August, that I forgot that I had to have this cosplay done by DreamHack of last year. So I did the majority of the work for all of the costume, minus like the handful of pieces you see made here, within the last month that I needed to have this done. I have never con crunched like this before. I genuinely hate it. It was awful. I never want to do that again. I'm very glad the costume's done. There is stuff that I need to like work on and fix and tweak, but as a whole, the costume is finished. But dear God, that was awful to have to work on such a last minute thing for something of like this complexity. But yeah, if you're curious where any of that is, unfortunately, it's on Patreon. Otherwise, you can go check on my Instagram. I do have like pictures and stuff in my highlights and just on my feed, like I mentioned before in the video. But yeah, I'm really sorry about that. I'm gonna try and do better with my next build. Anyway, as always, if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. I'm always happy to yap, and I hope you have a great day, and I will see you all next time.